Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lalima, and in today's video we are going to do a data analysis. And this data analysis I am doing using SQL query. So here you can see list of some queries which we are going to solve today. And these list of queries are a mix of some basic to advanced logic. So now let's quickly check what are the table we are going to use today. So for our data analysis, we are using three tables, which is employee, project, and department. So employee table contain detail about the employee, like employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, hire date, and salary. Similar way, our second table is project. So it has project related information like project ID, project name, start date, end date, and employee ID. And our third and last table is department, which has department details. So column of this table is department ID and department name. Now, if you see the ER diagram of these three tables, so here department ID is primary key of department table, but working as a foreign key in employee table. And similarly, employee ID is primary key of employee table, but working as a foreign key for project table. So here department employee has a relationship of one to many. Why? Because one department can have many employee, but each employee belongs to one department only. Similar way, employee and project has many to many relationship. Why? Because one employee can have many projects. Similar way, one project can be assigned to many employees. So that's why there is many to many relationship between employee and project. And here if you see, there is no direct relationship between department and project ID, but through employee we can connect these two tables. So these are our main table for this data analysis, and we'll solve these list of query using these three tables only. Now for to write the SQL query, that I'm using PostgreSQL here, and currently I'm using version 17. So let's quickly create a database for this. So go to database, then right click, create database, and I'll give a demo underscore DB just to save. So it created a demo DB for us. Now go to schema, then go to table, and here just right click and open a query tool for it. So currently you see our database is demo DB. So we need to write or execute all the query under the demo DB only. So this is the query tool for my demo DB. Okay, so I'll close this earlier one and we'll use this console for our query execution. Okay, now we need to create our tables. So this is the syntax of table creation. So this is very easy. First, we are going to create a department table. So create table department, and it has two columns, department ID, which is a primary key, and department name with a varchar 50. So just run this. Okay, this is completed successfully, and insert the data into department table. Similarly, this is our employee table. So create table employee. Employee ID is primary key. First name, last name is varchar 50. Department ID is integer. Hire date is data type, and salary is integer. Now our department ID is a foreign key in employee table. So here we give a reference foreign key, which is a department ID, referring the department table of department ID column. Okay, so this is the syntax for the create table of employee. So just execute it. This is also completed. Now insert data into employee table. So just run this. This is also done. And this is the last and third table, which is project. So create table project. Project ID integer, which is a primary key. Project name is varchar 100. Start date is date data type. End date is also date data type. Employee ID is integer. And here employee ID is foreign key. So the constraint is foreign key employee ID, which is referring a employee table of employee ID column. So let's execute this syntax as well. So this is done. And now insert the data. So now go to table, then right click and refresh. And if you see here, these are the three tables which is created. Now let's quickly check these three tables. So select star from employee. So all looks good. Similar way, select star from project. So this is also looks good. And last one is select star from department. So this is also good. Here if you see, I have taken very simple and a small data set so that when we execute our query, we can easily visualize our result. So that's why I'm taking very small data set, but the same query is applicable to a larger or bigger data set as well. Okay, so we have created our three tables and also inserted the sample data. Now let's see these query one by one. Okay, so our first question is list employees along with their department name. So if we see these table quickly, so in employee table, we have employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, hire date, and salary. So here for each employee ID, we have department ID. But to get the department name, we need to join this employee table with the department table. So for this query, we are using department and employee table, and we are joining these two tables. Okay, so let's go to the console. So here I'm taking all the columns from the employee table. So select star from employee, and here give the alias as E, and we need to join with the department. So we are taking all the column from the employee table. So put it E dot star, and for joining I'm using left join, so that all the column from left table, which is our employee table, will come here. Okay, so left join department as D based on E dot department ID equal to D dot department ID. Okay, and we are taking all column from the employee and only department name from the department table. So D dot department name. Okay, let's run this. So this is the spelling mistake. Okay, so now run this, and here if you see, we get the employee detail along with their department name. So employee ID is 1, his name is Alice, and he's working on department ID 10, and the name of the department is sales. Okay. Okay, our second question is find the employees without any projects. Okay, so if we see only project table, then it contain only those employee who have assigned some project. Okay, but if we want to see those employee who have not assigned any project yet, then we need to join employee and project together. Okay, so for this query also we are using two table, employee and project. So first let's join employee and project. So select E dot star from employee as E. Then we are taking all the column from the employee. So left join projects as P based on E dot employee ID equal to P dot employee ID. Okay, and here I'm only taking the project ID. So P dot project ID. Okay, so first run this part only. So if I run, then here we are getting all the employee details with their respective project ID. Now, those employee who have not assigned any project, they are having project ID as a null. So we need to filter out these two column only. So over this query, we are just filtering where P dot project ID is null. Okay, and if we run this, then we get only those employees who have not assigned any project, or those employee without any project. Okay, so employee ID 10 and 7, which is Jake and Grace, those are the two employee who have not assigned any project yet. Okay, so our next question is how many employees hired after 2020, in 2020 and before 2020. Okay, so we need to use the hire date, and that hire date is available in employee table. So for this query, we can use only single table. Okay, so here let's take only the required columns. Select employee ID, then first name, then last name, then take the hire date, and then let's categorize this hire date based on our requirement. So here I'm using case statement. So case when hire date is greater than 2020 12/31, means if hire date is greater than 31st December 2020, then it's after 2020. Okay, now another scenario when hire date, let's copy this, when hire date is less than equal to 2019 12/31, means 31st December 2019. If it's lower than, then it's before 2020. Okay, else it's in 2020. Okay, so and this as higher year. Okay, and we are taking all this detail from employee table. So this is the column we are using for this table, and if we run this, then we get the detail about the employee ID, first name, last name, its hire date, and the hire year. So based on the hire date, we get the idea that whether that employee hired before 2020 or after 2020 or in 2020. Okay, Now we need to find out how many employees hired during this phase. Okay, so this is our subquery which we just wrote. So this is our subquery, and based on that query, we'll find out the number of employees. So select hire year and then count of number of employee. So here I'm using employee ID from this subquery, and we need to group by. Okay, so group by hire year. Okay, so if we run this, then we get the detail that in 2020 only 2 employee got hired, before 2020 6 employee got hired, and after 2020 also only 2 employee got hired. Okay, so this is the answer of our query. So first we categorize the hire date, and based on that we again group by and then got the count of the employee. Okay, our next question is find out the number of employees per department. Okay, so here if we see in employee table, we have detail about the employee ID as well as the department ID. So let's use this table first. So here take the department name and based on that count the number of employees. So select department ID and then count the employee of each department. Okay, so employee ID from employee table, and here we need to group by based on department ID. Okay, so let's run this first. So here for each department, these many number of employees working. Okay, so here we got only the department ID, and if you want to take the department name, then you can join this employee table with the department to fetch the department name. Okay, so the same thing we have done in our first question. So we have taken the department name from the department and we have joined this employee and department based on the department ID. Okay, so this exercise I'm leaving for you, and you also try from your side to get the department. Okay, so this is the answer for our question number 4, number of employees per department. So these are the department ID and these are the number of employees hired into that departments. Okay. If you like this data analysis so far, then I would also like to share with you my Udemy course, which I have recently published. In this course, we are not only doing data analysis, but we have also included multiple choice question and query exercises, which we have categorized basic, intermediate, and advanced level. So if we go here and suppose if you are choosing this query, then you will get an interactive console. And for that, you do not need to set up any environment or platform. You also do not need to install any data set. You can directly read this question based on the scenario and write your query to check this. Okay, so here suppose write an SQL query to get all the customer from USA. So if write this query, select star from customers where country equal to USA. Okay, and if I run this query, so if it's match, then you will get the result as a success, and if it's fail, then you can retry it many times, and at the end you can also see the solution. So this is a very good tool to practice your skill. And other than this query environment, we also have multiple choice question. So these also you can retry many times, and using these question you can test your knowledge. So I'll share the link of this course in description box or in comment section. We are also going to update this course time to time and will add on more data analysis exercise or case studies. So currently this course is available on a discounted price, and you can use SQL 4999 coupon code to get up to 80% of discount. And this coupon code is valid till 8 July 2025. So you can use this coupon code to get up to 80% of discount. But if you are watching this video after 8 July 2025, then you can comment into comment section coupon code, and I will share the coupon whichever is valid during that time. So no need to worry. If you really want to learn, then we'll help you as much as possible. So I really hope that you will like this course and it will really add on something in your learning journey. So let's move to the analysis part. Okay, our next question is find the projects handled per department. Okay, so here we need to find the number of projects handled by each department. So it looks like similar to our previous question where we find out the number of employees working in each department. Similar way, how many projects are handled by each department. Okay, so let's see which table we can use here. So project detail we can get from the project table, and it doesn't have any department related detail. Okay, so department detail we can get from the employee table. So for this question, we need to join employee and project table. Okay, so the similar join we have done in our previous query as well. So here we have joined employee table with project table. So I'm just copying paste this syntax from here. So we get the department detail from the employee table and project detail from the project table. Okay, so just paste it here and select department from employee table. So E dot department ID, and then get the count of project ID. So that's I'm taking from the project table. So project ID as number of projects. Okay, from employee table, left join project table based on employee ID, and we need to group by E dot department ID. Okay, so let's run this. So again, this is the spelling mistake. So department. Okay, so let's run this, and here we get the department ID and how many projects handled by that department. Okay, so department ID 10, it's handling 3 projects. Okay, and here also we can get the department detail from the department table. So let's quickly do that. So D dot department name, and let's join again. So join department table as D, and this is we are joining based on D dot department ID equal to E dot department ID. And this dot department name also we need to put into group by. So just copy and paste it. And if we run this, then we get the department name. So department ID 20 belongs to IT department, and it handle 2 projects. Similar way, department ID 10 from the sales department, and they are handling 3 projects. Okay, so this is the answer of our query number 5. Next question is find employees with multiple projects. So these detail we can get from the project table because it has project ID as well as employee ID. So currently let's use the project table, and if you want to fetch more detail about the employee, then you can join project table with the employee table. So here we need to find the employee detail with multiple projects. So select, we need to fetch the employee details. So select employee ID and then count number of projects. So count of project ID from project table, and we need to group it using employee ID. So let's run this first. So for each employee, there is a count of project. Now we are only focused on multiple projects. So we can put having clause. So having count of project ID. So this I can give alias project count count of project ID greater than 1. So let's run this. Yeah, so here we got 2 employee who have more than 1 project or multiple project. Here we have employee detail with their project count, but if you want to fetch more detail like employee name, hire date, last name, then you can join this project table with employee table based on employee ID and fetch the required detail. So again, this exercise is for you. So please do practice at your own. Next question is categorize employees by their project load. So we need to find the project count per employee, and based on the count we need to identify if they have 0 project then no project, if they have 1 project then low to moderate load, and if they have more than 1 project then it is high load. So this question is similar like our previous question where we also got the project count per employee. So similar query we can use to implement this. So I'm just copying this, so group by this. So first run this. So we got the employee ID and their project count. But one thing is that in project table, we have only those employee who got their project. But in employee table, we still have some employee who have not assigned any project yet. Why? Because we have seen the same thing in our previous query, in query number 2, where we find out that employees who have no project or employees without any project. Okay. So here again, we need to left join employee table with project table. So we'll use this chunk of code instead. So just replace it. So copy and select employee ID, which we are taking from E, employee ID, then count of P dot project ID as project count. Okay. And these are the things we are taking from the employee table and we are joining with project table, and we need to group it using e.employee id. Okay, so why we are taking employee id from employee table? Why? Because we are also interested in those employee who have not assigned any project yet. So just run this, and here you see employee number 10 and 7, they have 0 project count. Why? Because there is no project assigned them yet. Okay, now we need to categorize it. Okay, so let's include this also. So use case when count of project is equal to 0, then we need to mention no project. Just copy paste this. When count of project is 1, then low to moderate load. Okay, and when count of project is more than 1, then is more than 1, then high load. Now and as load category, and let's try to run it. So here you see employee ID 5, it has only one project, so their category is low to moderate load. Same way, employee number 7, they have no project, so their load category is no project. And employee ID 6, it has 2 project count, so they have high load. Okay, so we have categorized the load status. And again, if you want to fetch the employee details like first name or last name, then we already joined the table. We just simply write the e dot first name or last name. So let's quickly do that as well. So dot first name, comma, e dot last name, comma, and just run this. So we got the employee ID, their respective first or last name, their project count, and the load category. Okay, so this is our question number 7, where we have categorized the employee by their project load. So far we have completed 7 queries and our video already got over 20 minutes. So we'll solve remaining query, which is 8th onward, in our next part or in our next video. I'll upload that video separately. So thank you so much. You have shown so much love and interest my other videos, and I hope you also like this video and appreciate my Udemy course. And if you really find this video useful, then please do comment in comment section, and also like, share, and subscribe my channel. So that's it for today. I'll see you next video. Till then, thank you and take care.